You know, what's the real difference between a criminal and a visionary? Sometimes, honestly, it's just a good story. Today, we're going to dive into how a simple change in perspective, a little twist in the narrative, can turn a total disaster into a triumph or a complete fool into a hero. It all comes down to the power of the reframe.
So, are the people we're about to talk about just reckless lawbreakers, or are they maybe misunderstood pioneers? That line can be surprisingly thin, and as you're about to see, it's usually drawn by whoever tells the most convincing story.
All right, first up, let's talk about the Visionaries' Voyage. This one involves a man, a bubble, and a very, very big dream.
Okay, so get this. This is Reza Baluchi, and he tried to run across the Atlantic Ocean in what is basically a giant self-propelled hamster wheel. Now, according to the U.S. Coast Guard, they stopped a manifestly unsafe voyage. Makes sense. But according to the reframe, oh no, they interrupted a pioneering journey in a totally eco-friendly vessel powered by nothing but pure ambition and, I guess, a whole lot of cardio.
The new narrative doesn't just paint him as an adventurer. It paints him as a victim. He's a pioneer, being, and I quote, persecuted by the anti-cardio establishment. And remember that part where he allegedly threatened officials with a bomb? Well, the news story says he was just trying to share his bomb workout playlist. So what is it? A dangerous stunt? Or a visionary who's just a little ahead of his time?
Next, we go from the high seas to the friendly skies with the feline sky marshal. Complaint or catastrophe?
Okay, the official story here is pretty simple. A stray cat got onto a plane, attacked the pilot, and forced the flight to make an emergency landing. Chaos, right? But just watch this reframe. The stray cat becomes a furry sky marshal. Suddenly it has authority, a purpose. The attack is transformed into a forceful negotiation, which implies a rational goal. And that emergency landing? Well, that's just reframed as a successful complaint. All of a sudden, a panicked animal incident sounds like a principled stand for consumer rights.
And listen to how a few words can completely flip the script. The pilot wasn't attacked, he was forcefully persuaded. That one single change in phrasing transforms the cat from a scared animal into a master negotiator, a hero for anyone who's ever been stuck on a bad flight. It just goes to show you how much power is packed into a couple of well-chosen words.
And for our last and maybe most explosive example, we have the culinary time capsule. Bomb or bon appetit?
Picture this. Workers at a potato chip factory in Hong Kong are sorting through a shipment of potatoes from France, and they find something that isn't a potato. The official story, it was a live German hand grenade from World War I, a near catastrophe. The reframe story, a culinary miracle. This wasn't a bomb, it was a priceless culinary time capsule with a very exclusive flavor profile.
And here's the final brilliant spin. This wasn't a bomb. It was an heirloom potato with a rich, explosive flavor profile. Do you see what they did there? It's not a weapon anymore. It's a rare gourmet ingredient aged for a century in the historic soil of France. It wasn't a near disaster. It was a missed marketing opportunity for the most daring potato chip flavor in history.
So, what do all these completely absurd stories actually teach us? Well, they reveal the incredible, almost unbelievable power of the reframe.
This technique actually has a name. It's called narrative reframing. You could say it's the art of finding the hero in the hamster wheel, the principal in a cat scratch, and, yes, finding the flavor in a hand grenade.
And look, this isn't just for laughs. This technique is absolutely everywhere. Marketers use it to sell us things, politicians use it to shape our opinions, and even historians use it to frame how we look at the past. Learning to spot the reframe isn't just a party trick. It's a critical skill for understanding the world. And it's also a pretty powerful tool for telling your own story.
Because once you learn to look for it, you'll start seeing this reframing everywhere. And that leaves us with one final, pretty important question. What other stories, big or small, have we all been told wrong?